Hey guys, Jessica here. So today we're going to talk about predatory marketing with pump companies. And I'm not going to call out one specific company. I called out a company yesterday and it ended up with this huge kerfuffle because somebody who is an affiliate of the company decided to leave me a marketing novel. Um, I called them out on that to show my group hey, this is literally what is happening. Like they're out here promoting stuff and lying. And any time there is any controversy where somebody holds them accountable for not doing what they say they're doing, this is what happens is these companies, they're affiliates, they target people. There's two different kind of types of predatory marketing though that I think moms need to be aware of, because some of it is the content that they have moms create. Like they're using moms to create content that is designed to prey on our vulnerabilities. That is predatory marketing. They're not selling us their pumps because the pump has these features. The pump has these qualities we should want. They're selling it to us by exploiting our vulnerabilities. And then the second is just the practices of these companies. Moms really need to be aware of how they're operating because they're not operating in an authentic and appropriate manner. So the first one is going to be, let's talk about the content. So I want you to stop and think. I want you to think about if you're on TikTok, think about if you're on Instagram, think about if you're on Facebook. What you'll see is these videos of very relatable looking moms. They typically look really tired. The videos are fairly dimly lit. They're they look like they're in their pajamas. They're a mom who just woke up for the day. And they're showing you their pump. And they're doing these. And then what this does is it pulls your visual interest. When you see the video, even if you're not looking at it with sound, it pulls you to what you're supposed to be paying attention to, which is the pump itself. And they're going to show you their very full container. And their containers are always maxed out. And most pumps hold more than what the average mom is pumping. The average mom is pumping 1 to 1.5 ounces combined per hour since last emptying, which is why we tell you you need to empty your breast frequently. You need to pump or nurse frequently. But they're showing you fully maxed out. So this one is just one I literally grabbed it off my shelf. I am not saying anything about this brand. It was just one that I was like, it's fairly generic. So this one can hold 6 ounces. So if they were showing this, they're not going to show it down here with 2 ounces, which 2 ounces on each side would be 4 ounces, which is still a really good pump session. That is going to be typically above average for what some moms are making. 2 ounces just doesn't sell. You need it to be 6 ounces. Even better if you can make it overflowing. And what is the chances that you're going to have both sides overflowing at the same time, unless you are a massive oversupplier? And they are targeting moms who are oversuppliers, because when we see a full pump and then they take it, sorry, the only bottle I have on the desk happens to be the small one. They take it and they're going to pour it, and you're going to see all that lovely liquid gold pouring out, and you're going to hear it hitting the bottle. And it's like mom crack. We watch it, our eyes glaze over, and we can't take our eyes off of it because we are hardwired to want to feed our babies. We don't grow these babies to not want to take care of them. And breast milk is one of the ways that we take care of them. And a plentiful milk supply is hardwired to make us think that things are going to be good for our baby. This is how we're going to keep our baby safe. Because if you have enough milk, your baby should be good. So we are hardwired to want that. And that is what this content is. It's content to make it seem like this mom has this milk because of this pump. That may or may not be true. Or the content is them unboxing it. They're unboxing it and they're showing you everything this company is going to have. And the more the companies engaged in the predatory marketing are actually starting to send out full pump kits, because what they want is for you to be brand loyal to them and them alone. So they're sending you everything it is you supposedly need. Cases, inserts, accessories. And on one hand, that's good. But then on the other hand, what is the chances that you're going to fit this limited thing? Nipples come in a range from, 8 millimeters up to 32. What is the chances that this pump with 4 sizes is going to cover everyone? It's not great. But they're showing you the unboxing, and that's the content. They haven't used the pump. They're just telling you the marketing spiel. This pump has 3 different modes. They don't tell you anything about the modes. They might be able to tell you if the suction is good or not, because they may have used it once or twice. But typically they're being sent this to quickly turn around the content for these companies. They're being paid for their content in most cases. And they're not always declaring that it is affiliate marketing. They're not telling you that it's affiliate marketing. They're not following those rules because the companies are not requiring them to. Ethical companies get upset with their content creators when they don't do that. They get upset when you break the rules because they're not trying to get caught up in that type of scam. But some of these companies are more than happy to be scamming. And then some of them are kicking out new pumps so fast that there's just constantly a new pump. There's new content that's needed, and it keeps like this little feeding frenzy because moms are making money off of this. I don't know about you, but babies are expensive. There's never been a time when I had a baby where I was not like a little extra cash would be nice because babies are freaking expensive. So they're preying on these moms, and they're preying on these moms' vulnerabilities by teaching them to prey on other moms' vulnerabilities. And I don't necessarily think that the moms creating the content understand how predatory that is because they're not recommending these pumps based on their success with these pumps. Sometimes they are, most of the time they're not. Most of the time it's actually painfully obvious they just got the pump. They haven't tested it. You know, the company is probably taking care of their warranty needs because that is a quick way to get called out. But for the average mom who's buying the pump, no, they're really actually kind of just not. They're finding an excuse. Or if they do cover the warranty, they're shipping it straight from China and it's taking 5 weeks to get to them. Do you have 5 weeks to have a broken breast pump? Because I never did. It's kind of like this ridiculous time frame with these companies. But what these companies are also doing that's really important to know is they're infiltrating mom groups. So there are mom groups on Reddit, there are mom groups on Facebook. They are infiltrating these groups and posing as moms. They look like their content is genuine. They're telling you, hey, I used XYZ pump and it was so great. I absolutely loved it. You know, I had all these great benefits from it. But they're not actually just a mom giving you genuine advice. And the way that we find these people is that typically, if you're in these mom groups, you start to notice that the same person is recommending the same thing again and again and again. And they never have anything negative to say about the pump, which most pumping moms out there would tell you that there is no perfect pump and there is always, almost always a but. I love this pump, but. But there's never a but with these profiles. And they may be recruiting you to these groups to to test these pumps or to share these specific pumps. Join the XYZ pump group because we can help you. But what's in that group is mostly fake. It's fake content. It's other moms telling you how great the pump is, but they're not really moms. They're fake content. And this is not happening with just one company. This is happening on a wide scale. And it is only increasing. And you want to know why it's increasing? We need to look back to 2020, 2021. Pump numbers and breastfeeding numbers went through the roof during the pandemic. So many people were breastfeeding and they were breastfeeding longer. We also had a lot more moms who didn't have access to lactation support and ended up pumping rather than nursing because they needed to assure their baby was gaining weight and getting enough food, but they couldn't take their baby to be weighed. They couldn't see somebody in person. And pediatricians were pushing well visits to virtual. I mean, with good reason. We were dealing with a pandemic illness. But the byproduct was a lot more moms were at home with their babies, a lot more moms were pumping. We were also seeing that, based on stimuluses, we were getting more people investing more money in their pumping equipment. At that time, I would ask moms coming into my practice. I've had 4,000 moms come through my practice. It's higher now, but the last number I saw was 4,000. I would say that back in 2020, 2021, 2022, the average mom who came into my practice listed 5 or 6 different pumps that they had. It was not uncommon. This idea that people only had one breast pump was really, really rare at that point. A lot of people had at least 2. Most people had a heavy duty, a portable, a wearable, and they may have 2 or 3 options of each of those. They wanted to try things. If you were not feeling the economic crunch of the pandemic, that stimulus money ended up getting invested into baby things. Pump companies were having record-breaking sales at that point. And they all think that that was a realistic number. But the world opened back up. Moms went back to work. They were working outside of the home. Working outside of the home can shorten the duration of breastfeeding. If you're not breastfeeding, what is the chances you're buying a pump? And I'll let you sit with that one. But I would say if you're not lactating, you're not buying a pump. So a lot of moms were not breastfeeding as long, or they were not investing in the same amount of equipment. And lactation care opened back up. So a lot more babies that moms wanted to nurse were able to nurse because we were able to get them the support that they needed to address their issues, where we had a period of time where we really couldn't. Virtual care does have its limitations, and even virtual care that can be fantastic doesn't help if we can't actually get you into a provider to release a tongue tie, if we can't actually get you into a provider for lab work to address your milk supply concerns. The whole system broke down. And pumping was a way that moms were able to circumvent the impact of that system breaking down. Pump companies are not seeing those sales. And then we're also dealing with the economic reality that a lot of families feel like they have to tighten the belt right now. A lot of people are far more hesitant to invest in multiple pumps. They're definitely not investing in some of the heavier duty ones. So these companies are out here acting the way they are because they kind of got used to those numbers that they were making, and they don't want to see that income slip away. And the further it slips away, because it was not necessarily realistic, that is not a time frame that I feel like any company should rightfully be using to set their numbers and to set their goals, because it was this atypical time in history. What we see now is far more consistent with what we saw before the pandemic. We're back to kind of the same status quo. That's It's encouraging predatory behavior because they feel like they've lost something, but really they didn't lose anything. They just had this period where they got some accelerated growth that was not sustainable. So it's just kind of this whole hot mess. And now we have predatory content. We have companies out here selling stuff. The number of wearable pumps on the market today is not sustainable. Not that many people are buying that many wearables. It's just not happening. So these companies are coming in and they are hyping up these cheap options, because that's what people are willing to invest in at this point, is the majority are looking for an inexpensive option. They're hyping up these cheap options. They're using predatory practices to hype it up. And then when your pump breaks, which all wearables break, that is not unique to any one wearable company. Even the luxury expensive wearables break. The difference there is that we know that we can get warranty coverage. And on the rare event that a mom is really struggling with their customer service, we have ways that we can help you work with them. We can show you what you need to do. With some of these cheap companies, good luck. They may not exist. Or they tell you off the wall things. They'll be, oh, no, I know we were selling the pump on Amazon, but we don't honor it on Amazon. Well, it came from your authorized shop, so how is it not covered? Well, it's just not covered. And they just send you on your way. And if you're persistent, you might be able to get somebody on the phone or get somebody by email that may help you. You might, or you might not. It's really a problem with these companies, is they're not taking care of moms, and moms are the ones that are suffering. And the way that we counteract this is we tell you what to look for. Look for that person who only seems to be hyping that one pump and never says anything negative. Go search them in other groups. If you are seeing that they're sharing things that don't make sense, believe the moms who are saying the negative things within context. Obviously, you can't believe every negative thing, because sometimes the pump just didn't work for the mom. But when a mom is saying, my pump broke and the company screwed me over, maybe side with that mom and think twice before investing in that company, because that mom is far more likely to be being honest with you than the person who's like, no, this is great. These companies are great. They're not. There's a reason that there are concerns with these companies. If it seems like it's too good of a deal to be true, it's too good of a deal. And then pay attention to the content that's catching your eye. Ask yourself, why? Is it that this pump offers me something new? Is it that this pump has a feature that I didn't have before that I really like? Or is it selling me something that I am hardwired to want, but that is not necessarily going to address my issue? Because if you get duped by the marketing, it's your money and your milk supply that's at risk. And it's heartbreaking when that happens. We hate it. We hate it for you. We spend a lot of time in my group actively educating moms on these practices and calling it out, because we don't want to be the ones talking to you when you're heartbroken because there's no warranty coverage. The pump didn't work. Your milk supply is suffering, and now we don't have the resources you need to get you something that's going to work. So that is definitely things I think you need to be thinking about with the predatory marketing. Keep your eyes out and watch. Once you know what you're looking for, it's one of those things, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And once you can't unsee it, you are less likely to fall victim to the predatory marketing. And that is the best outcome that I can hope for. So hopefully this helps. Let me know if you have questions. Let me know if you're concerned about certain practices. Let me know if you see companies doing this. Call them out. We don't owe loyalty to pump companies. No one has to be loyal to a pump company. Be loyal to other moms. Other moms need us to be honest and fair. Pump companies, we're not loyal to them. We never should be. So hopefully that helps, and happy pumping.